So today in the scripture reading, we are invited to share in the ministry of Jesus, of proclaiming the good news to all, liberating the captives, and most of all, give the hope to those who are downtrodden. And this is also the year of hope, that we are called to bring hope to others. And in order to bring hope to others, it is important that the primary foundation is that we must recognize our humanity. It is strange that although we are all human beings, we can only feel our own pain, feel our own misery, our own loneliness, but we don't feel for others. It is strange. We are all human beings. Whatever you go through, whatever you feel, is what your fellow man would feel. That is why sometimes we just wonder, how could human beings kill each other? How could human beings hurt each other? Because we all know what is to be hurt and what it is to suffer. And we do all this against our brothers and sisters when we ourselves would not want these to be done to us. And that is the reason why I said that for Jesus, the Son of God, to save us, He shared in our humanity. He came as a man, not as God to save us. God could send an angel to save us. He doesn't have to send His Son. God could have sent His angels and Michael and all these angels to lead us and to teach us what to do. He doesn't have to send Jesus, His only Son. But of course, if the angel tells us what to do, we will tell the angels, of course lah, you are powerful, you are greater than us, you can do it. Of course, I cannot do it, And you don't understand what we are going through because you're an angel. You don't enjoy the suckling pig, durians, you don't like all these things we like. We are tempted, We are easily tempted because we have a human body and you don't have. That is why God sent Jesus, who is truly divine, and yet He assumed our humanity to the fullest. And of course, Jesus understands our pain. And most of all, we are told in today's first reading, He understood our fear of death. That's why Jesus Himself would undergo death in order to tell us death is not the last word. Death will be overcome by life. And therefore, He set us free from slavery, because our greatest slavery is always the fear of death. It is because of the fear of death that we are greedy, we are selfish, we try to protect our lives, even at the expense of destroying the lives of others, because we are fearful of death. We do everything to keep ourselves alive, even though we might be alive, but actually we don't truly live. And so Jesus, we are told, He took to Himself our humanity so that He could be completely like us and be compassionate to us. He Himself has gone through temptation to help others who are tempted. So no one can therefore say that Jesus had no issues with temptation. He went through the same temptations, and even worse, He was hungry for 40 days in a desert, and there's a time when you are tempted, always the devil comes to tempt you at your moment of weakness, not at your strength. The devil knows where we are weak, and he will tempt us in those areas, as he did with Jesus. He was hungry, and the devil tempted him to change stone to bread for himself. And so it is important, therefore, for us that we need to go through our humanity to feel our own struggles, our own pain, so that we can empathize with others and sympathize with others and follow the basic principle of life. Do not do unto others what you don't like to do unto you. It's a very simple philosophy, and Jesus said, do to others what you would like others to do unto you in a more positive way. And so we have Jesus, who not only teaches us the way, He shows us the way, how to be human, how to care, how to show our empathy and sympathy for others. In today's gospel, we are told on leaving the synagogue, and if you remember yesterday what happened in the synagogue, he was reading, and then of course there was a case of manifestation of an evil, unclean spirit in the man. And after the synagogue service, we are told Jesus went with James and John straight to the house of Simon and Andrew. Jesus was truly a busy man. He was a man very much active in his ministry. After the synagogue, immediately we are told that Simon Peter's in-law had gone to bed with fever. And so Jesus immediately went to Simon's house to heal Simon's mother-in-law. And you see the great compassion that Jesus had. Jesus was not just about serving the people, he also served those people who were his collaborators. And that is why it's very important. If you want people to serve you, you can serve and convert the whole world. But if you cannot even convert your own brothers and sisters who are next to you, you can forget it. You won't receive loyalty. That's why when I was in CSC, people think that, wow, I did so many things. Many people come to CSC because I gave talks and things like that. It's more than that. Besides giving talks, besides organizing all these things, you have to attend to the ministry members. I'm in hospital, immediately you have to go and visit. Oh, my father is dying, you better go and anoint the father. If there's a bereavement, you have to be there. You have to be with the ministry members. You have to show that you care for them. If you don't care for them, why would they care for you? It's the same everywhere. That's why sometimes priest says, the people don't care for me. The real question is, did you care for them? That is a more important question, not whether people care for you or not. It's not whether people loved you or not. Some people say people don't love me. Yeah, because you are not loving others. You are not nice to others. You always hurt people. Your nasty words. Everybody is trying to stay far from you to protect themselves. Who wants to be with someone who is grumpy and aging and moody and always, nothing positive, everything negative about you? You talk to the person, you get discouraged. Nobody want to get discouraged. So it's so simple as that. So Jesus went to heal mother-in-law, and see how personal. Jesus was really very personal. He went to her, took her by the hand, helped her out. Very personal. He could have said, get up. He went. It's very personal. The way Jesus did things. He could have just said, get up. He says he will hold you up. And that is a give assurance. A give assurance. If you do not know when you are sick, then you will know. When your leg is painful, if there's somebody to hold you, that's an important thing. You feel safe. You feel safe. If not, cannot get up. And then we are told that evening after sunset, they brought to him many who were sick, those who were oppressed by devils. Whole town came crowding. And why? That evening. Jesus again was very sensitive. For the Jews, you should not work on Sabbath day. And for the strict Jews, no healing. Healing is also considered part of work. So they came after sunset. After sunset, Sabbath was over. That's why they came after 6 p.m. Just when the staff is about to go home to rest. And so Jesus, after 6 p.m. supposed to rest, and they all came. Because that's the only time, because before that they could not come, it was Sabbath. And again, Jesus, he put aside his time to attend to all those who were sick, possessed by devils, and he healed them all. So that's the kind of Jesus who was very in touch with the people, in touch with their lives, in touch with their needs, and tried to cater to their needs. And so that was Jesus. And it's important, therefore, for us too. We have Jesus again. In the morning, we are told he got up, left the house, went to a lonely place and prayed there. And Simon and his companions searched for him and said, everybody is looking for you. He said, let us go elsewhere, the neighboring country towns, so that I can preach there too, because that is why I came. And so you can see that the vision of Jesus is very broad. He was not just focused on building that little kingdom that he has found. A lot of people want him. A lot of people need him. That is true. But he is always conscious that his mission is to proclaim the good news of God to all people. And so he was not what we call this thing, one place only. He said he has to go other places. And sometimes in life, that is the greatest danger. We feel comfortable in the place where we are. And we don't want to move. We don't want to grow. We don't want to change until we are forced to change. Only when we are forced to change, then later on hindsight, we look back and say, thank God, actually, if not for that, I would not have moved and find a new place. And it is true, especially for those who serve in ministries and even in workplace. We always have to ask, where does the Lord wants us? Where does the Lord wants us to give ourselves fully for the gospel, for the spread of the good news, and to be courageous to respond to His call. And it's important that, Jesus was very creative and always very forward-looking. He was not just, so even when we do things for the Lord, there is also a danger. We become minimalist. Just do the same thing day in, day out. We lack what we call creativity. We are not doing something more. We are just doing maintenance work. Just do my work and I'm contented. At least, my work is done and I think I've done a great job. But actually, it's not a great job. A great job is when we see what else more we can do. What else we can do? That should be the question asking us, what else can I do? How else can I contribute? How else can I build up the mission? That is important. And Jesus was always thinking. And that is why sometimes the real reason is the lack of prayer. Most of us, we tend to rely on our humanity. We work, we do, but we get very tired. We are also sometimes frustrated because of challenges, because of issues, because of difficulties, and we give up. While recognizing our limitations, it's important to know this is the work of God. We cannot do it with our human strength. We cannot do it using our human ingenuity. It's the work of God. Then we must let the work of God work in us and through us, and being open and being docile to the Spirit, and to move where the Lord is inviting us. Because it's the work of God, and we are doing the work of God for God as well. So God works in us to bring about His work. And at the end of the day, as I've said, we need to keep our vision in perspective. At the end of the day, it's not doing work. Even though you might be in accounts or you are doing something, at the end of the day, we must see the big picture. The big picture is, are we helping to give hope to our people? Are we bringing the good news to them in whatever responsibility we are called to cooperate? So accounts is not just keeping the accounts or making sure that everything is in order. It's more than that. It's a very important work. And so that is why it's important that we really make time for prayer. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. Everybody might be looking for us. It's okay. Tell them to look for us at the chapel. They want to look for us, look at the chapel. Don't look for us at the mall. Look for us at the chapel. So it's okay if everybody is looking for you. But we need really to recognize that it is the Lord that He will give us strength, give us vision, and give us what we call the people to help us in His mission. Amen.